When I'm playing a Call of Duty game and I'm down 3-0 or 4-0 or 4-1 in a search and destroy game, part of me gets excited. Part of me starts to relish the opportunity because, as we'll talk about in this video, there are so many times where the opponent will relax, will become overconfident, will think that they already have the win in the bag, only to realize that they celebrated far too soon and that the victory is going to be snatched from their jaws in a moment. In this video, we're going to discuss why you're throwing away some wins, how to win more, how to seal the deal, how to make sure that when you're ahead, you take it to the finish line, and when you're behind, when you're facing impossible odds, why it's not actually as bad as it seems, and how to train yourself to start building the mental toughness, the mental discipline, and the strategy to make impossible comebacks. In Law 15 of Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power, he says the law is to crush your enemy totally. Now, this law is part of a strategy for dealing with the world, but also with dealing with sports, with war, and here in a more entertaining way with video games. When you are faced with the opportunity to send the game into the finish line, past the finish line, to finish it, you want to be thinking about this. You want to be thinking about the opportunity to put out any smolder of flame or opportunity that the opponent may have of mounting a comeback and guarantee the win.
Nice.
But this rarely happens. Most teams do not have the mental discipline to remain strong, to remain vigilant, to remain engaged when ahead. We have to understand that when you are relaxed or overconfident, you are at your most vulnerable. Even if you're up 4-0, 5-0 on the brink of victory, you are extremely vulnerable. We develop our discipline with this law firstly within ourselves. When we have the upper hand, it's easiest to start here. When you are at the brink of victory, do not relinquish, do not relax. Push through that, develop this killer instinct, and finish the job. We need to understand, if we want to win more, that we need to not be so relaxed at the finish line because our vulnerability is opened up there. And the other team's opportunity to win, to mount the impossible comeback, is presented to them at the very moment when we relax, when we are overconfident, when we become vulnerable. This is in the theme of the killer instinct, that Mamba mentality that Kobe Bryant had. I have had moments where I was too relaxed, where I was overconfident, right on the brink of victory, and then I lost. Then we lost. The opportunity was opened up for the other team because I didn't finish the job. I was almost there, and I treated it as if it was already over. At this moment, when we become relaxed, when we become overconfident, we are at our most vulnerable for defeat. Crushing your enemy totally is a part of the development of your killer instinct, where when they are at the very edge, when they are about to be defeated, you push your hardest then, you smash them then, you leave no opportunity for a comeback. Now, how do we apply this to our own lives? There's two opportunities here. One, when we're ahead, one, when we're behind. Let's start with when we are ahead. So in this clip, we might call it a swing round. You see I have my kill streaks here. We're up 3-0, and in this game mode, we played a 5. So I'm sensing that this round is really important because if they win around here, get up to 3-1, then they're only one round away from it being 3-2, and then it's anyone's game. So even though we're up 3-0, I'm playing a little cautiously here. I have kill streaks. We're up 4-2 right now, but I've seen so many times where in a round like this, you have some kills, people start to feel comfortable, and then they run in and die, and then guess what? It's going to end up being a 1v2. So it's 1v2 here. I'm still being careful. I just want to finish the job, and we avoid losing that round 4-0. Now, when we're ahead, we have to keep in mind, number one, Respect your opponent always. If you want to win more games, if you want to not lose some of those really embarrassing games like I have when you're ahead by God knows how much and then you lose, you have to respect your opponent up till the very end. As the strategy, you must protect your momentum. Being up 3-0, 4-0, 2-0, that is something that's building. It's hard work to get that going. Value that. Even if it feels good, it feels like you can relax, you must protect your momentum to develop your killer instinct. You must value it as something worthy, as something that needs to be protected in order to finish the game strong. And then for their end, we must leave no room for them to gain momentum. This is where you don't make boneheaded mistakes when you're up 3-0. You don't let them rack off a couple kills to get a kill streak, to get a UAV, to get an ultimate. You don't give them room to build momentum against what they earn for themselves. If they're going to build momentum, it's not going to be because of a mistake you made. It's going to be because of a great performance that they had. And then crush them. It's as simple as that. You do not relax. You sense the moment. You sense the opportunity, and you crush them. You don't run in mindlessly. You don't make mistakes for free. You don't give them free mistakes. You crush them when the opportunity is there. You finish the job. You ensure that there is no opportunity for them to make a comeback. Okay, it's the closeout round here. We're at 4-0. We're almost certainly going to win, right? Like, probability says yes, of course, we know that. But I'm not going to put my team in a position where I'm going to be reckless. If my teammates want to go in and run around, that's fine. I'm going to stay focused here. I'm going to still play a little defensively. I don't want to throw away my life. You got to learn to value your life. So I'm just picking off you people here one by one. Being cautious, but still being aggressive when necessary. I don't overpress my advantage on any of these fights. I want to make sure I maintain my advantage because I respect my opponent even when we're up 4-0 on the brink of winning. Now, what about when you're behind? What about when you're on the brink of defeat? What do you do? It feels impossible. It feels impossible when you look at that stat line. They have 15, 20 kills. You have 1 or 2 kills and you're the top of your team. What do you do? So in this clip, we are down 4-0. We are on the brink of elimination. We need to win now or it's over. Now, we really just need to win one round and then go from there. So I'm switching to a better gun. I'm going to take a good position. I'm going to be careful, but I'm going to be aggressive. I'm not throwing away my life. None of our teammates think it's over. We believe that we can at least win this round. And here at the very end, you see this guy running out with the package. He knows he's visible. You'll end up seeing in a moment he has a crossbow. He's just kind of, he's relaxing. He thinks they have it in the bag. He thinks they're not going to lose. He throws away the round because he can. And what you're about to see in the next round is what's possible when you don't give up when you're on the brink of elimination. First, you have to understand the concept of momentum. It is a very dynamic thing. If you're looking down the hole of a 4-0 comeback, it seems like a lot. No, it's one round, maybe 2 rounds to start to reverse that momentum, as you'll see in just a moment. Okay, so here in the next round, we've won our first round. It's still 4-1, still looking bleak. However, they relaxed at the end. Now we are committed even more because we won a round. And guess what? We're going to slap them around this round. We're going to decimate them in just a few seconds. And just like that, it's 4-2. And just like that, their momentum has been stopped. We've gained momentum. And it might as well be a tie game at this point because we slapped them so hard. And it's 4-2 now. And now anything is possible. As you break their momentum, you start to build your own and protect whatever you build as much as you can. Protect that momentum. You cannot afford to make any mistakes, obviously, when you're down 4-0. But first, you resist their momentum. You take advantage of their mistakes, of their overconfidence. You exploit their vulnerability when they're up 4-0 and they're acting like the world is theirs for the taking. That is when you strike hard. That is when you don't give up. That is when you eye the break, the shattering of their momentum, and at the same time building your own. So it's the final round now. We end up tying it up. We have kill streaks. We have all the momentum. Now it's serious. Now they know they're on the brink of elimination, so they're going to hit with their hardest. But guess what? It's too late. They've sent away all their momentum. We have kill streaks. We have the confidence. And we're going to close them out and complete the reverse sweep.
It's close.
Because they let their guard down and we chipped away to get back in the game. Now, as a mental discipline, you have to believe. You have to believe it's possible at least to rack off a few rounds. You have to believe it's possible that if we resist them for a round or two, if we fight back, if we get a couple wins here, their momentum will break. We can build our own momentum. And your belief in this will grow, will develop, will evolve, and will deepen as you have more experiences of breaking their momentum, of mounting some of these comebacks. And you have to be patient. It's one round at a time. So through belief, through patience, through exploiting their mistakes, exploiting their overconfidence, their vulnerability, empowering your killer instinct to strike when they think you should be down, and then using that to shatter their momentum and start to piece together your own. That is what you do. That's how you can begin to mount some of these impossible comebacks and take advantage of when they violate this law and don't crush you totally, which is often. I can't tell you how many times the team I've been on has mounted an impossible comeback only because of this, only because they made mistakes or they got impatient and they left. And guess what? Once they check out, they're up 4-1, 4-0. If you rattle off a couple rounds, they're going to get frustrated. They're going to get impatient. Some of them will leave, and you're basically handed a free comeback win solely because they relaxed and became impatient. In The Art of War, Book 4, Sun Tzu talks about this strategy of a warrior. He said, the good fighters of old put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. The first phrase in here is particularly applicable when you're ahead. The good fighters of old put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat. When you are ahead, when you are able to crush them with ease, you make defeat impossible for yourself by staying engaged. And then when you're behind, when you're facing the impossible comeback, he says that these good fighters of old, they waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. They waited for an opportunity for them to become relaxed and overconfident, and that was the doorway, the gateway to mounting their comeback and securing an impossible victory. Now, the broad takeaway here, down here, which you can apply to any aspect of your life, but particularly here, is that this law is a correction of what human nature naturally does. We naturally relax. This is human nature. When we're up, to feel like we can relax and to rule the world for free, and when we're down, to feel like, oh, there's no way I can do this. That's not true. We must resist against that urge to relax when we're up. We must resist that urge to give up when we're down, and we must learn to exploit that weakness in our opponents, and then we will win a lot more. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have some stories to share or some clips to share about games you've been in, feel free to share down below.